2v2 as a format has always interested me in any game that it's present in. Despite the clear opportunity, in any game where 2s are an option, they're never the main format used in competition, but in many cases they are a fun alternative when you have too many or too little people to play a full match. Most Battle Royale games offer duos, most platform fighters offer doubles, and here in CS our 2-player mode is Danger Zone. And Wingman. Mostly Wingman, actually. Danger Zone is going to be a different video because that mode is really strange. Despite being a tertiary mode for most people, Wingman is actually a great, well-made game mode. It has the same score system as a competitive short match, but rather than being played 5v5, it's 2v2. Wingman captures something about CS that I don't think you can get in normal competitive. Just having 4 people on a server makes it more personal somehow. That's basically the long way for me to say that I talk a lot of shit in Wingman. Introduced as an event during Operation Hydra, the game mode started with a rotating map pool of 3 maps per week, at the time using the same maps as the Demolition game mode, plus the new map Rialto, created specifically for Wingman. After Hydra ended, and Wingman was solidified into the game as its own thing, the map pool for Wingman was changed to short versions of several competitive maps, as well as Lake and Rialto. Since at the end of Operation Hydra they completely removed Dust 1 and several other vintage maps from the game, Wingman became the only way to play on something similar to the original Dust layout in a somewhat competitive setting, and it remains that to this day. Since then, Wingman remained the same, barred the addition of the overhauled versions of Vertigo and Nuke, up until the release of Operation Broken Fang, when Rialto was removed and 2 community maps were added. Since then, Wingman community maps have been shifted in and out at the same rate as comp community maps. The problem with this is that, in my opinion, maps built for Wingman are infinitely better than short versions of full maps. I would rather keep these custom-made Wingman-specific maps than play on the same maps I'd be playing on regardless. One of the reasons that Wingman is so fun to me is that maps like Lake and Short Dust have so many quirks and weird corners that you would never see on a competitive map. Like, the jump from the garage onto roof on Lake is so easy to catch people with. On Short Dust, you practically have a CT side free round win card regardless of the buy, with this boost on Elbow, although keep in mind that it pretty much only works once. The point is that without the strain of having to design a map with the idea of the utmost competitive perfection in mind, you get this weird, perfect, fun mix of ideas. My favorite Wingman map of all time is Calavera, introduced at the end of Operation Broken Fang and removed at the start of Operation Riptide. This map has so many cool and interesting ideas. I love how mid and this lower area flow so seamlessly together, and how everything is tightly connected. Not to mention the amazing detailing work that makes the map feel like a real place rather than a kill box. I would rather have this in the Wingman pool permanently than any of the shortened comp maps, especially Nuke or Train. Wingman just doesn't work well with them as they are now. But then again, as I mentioned in a previous video, Wingman can actually serve a good and beneficial purpose to the development of competitive maps. The current Vertigo remake was first released in Wingman and tweaked based on feedback and statistics from there. The improvement shown over time through this strategy on Vertigo is unprecedented. Vertigo is not a perfect map as it is now, but when you compare it to how it was before its rework and the amount of garbage they had to fix, it's a pretty damn good map as it is. And honestly, in Wingman I'd love to be a lab rat to test out new maps and possible design changes. I think that this would be really cool and would honestly draw more eyes to Wingman as a game mode. So, at the end of the day, I guess the point of this video is that Wingman serves 2 purposes in the game. Why not then, rather than allow people to queue for individual Wingman maps, separate the Wingman queue into 2 groups, similar to Casual, or the other modes that aren't 5v5 competitive. One group with short versions of comp maps, and one group with purpose-made maps specifically for Wingman, and also Lake and Short Dust, because I like those maps and this is my video. But that's just an idea. Honestly, Wingman is fine as it is now, I'm just nitpicking. I love this game mode. The games are short and feel somewhat casual, but you still get some of the highs of playing a regular competitive match. If you've never tried it, at least as a warm-up, I highly recommend you give it a shot. Thank you. If you like this video, you can leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks.